If you've been following me for a while, then you know that I am a big cynic when it comes to video games, specifically the hype cycle, the promises of new innovations that never come to be, trailers without any gameplay, heavily edited footage to give you a vertical slice of what they plan on doing without really giving you the full fleshed out picture. And a lot of the time I end up being right. I really look back at No Man's Sky and remember how cynical I was at the announcement of that game and how much I was shouted at. And when the game came out, it was pretty much exactly as I expected it to be. But that's just one example of being cynical and being right about it. There are plenty of other times where I've been cynical and been wrong. But it's good to have a healthy dose of cynicism when it comes to the video games industry. They're trying to sell you on things that aren't even out yet, with pre-orders and pre-order bonuses and this, that, and the other. It's just too much and too obnoxious. But once a year, E3 rolls around and I can't help but let myself get just a little excited about some of the announcements that come out. And while some of the promises end up being just as bad as they've always been, there are those that come out that are still really good. So I let myself get swept up in the hype a little bit this year, and here are my top 7 announcements from E3 that I'm personally excited for. Enjoy. It's no surprise that XCOM 2 is one of my favorite games of 2016. I think on my top 10 games of 2016 list, it actually hit number 2. So it's no surprise that I'm super excited about XCOM 2's expansion pack, War of the Chosen. Okay, yeah, it's not a full game announcement, but anything to get me to come back and play more XCOM is a good thing in my book, and War of the Chosen seems to be just that. The expansion pack is going to integrate directly into the main campaign. It's not a continuation, it's merely a beefing up of the game that already exists. Introducing 3 quote-unquote chosen who were created by the aliens to hunt you down specifically. It is now up to you to go around and recruit other resistance camps to join your army. With new upgrades, special soldier classes that are being considered heroes, and 3 what are perceivably bosses introduced to the campaign, making a hard game already harder. God, I can't wait to jump in and lose all my friends all over again to the alien menace. Look, ever since Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag was released, I and countless others have been screaming for Ubisoft or some other company to take the pirate parts of that game, expand it, and make it its own thing. Black Flag was defined by its awesome open seas adventure. The crew, the sea shanties were so freaking good. Fighting other ships and looting, just being a pirate in Black Flag was great. The assassin bits were there as well, but it was the pirate parts that set that game apart. And ever since then, like I said, we've been wanting a full-on pirate game. Finally, Ubisoft comes in and delivers with Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones looks gorgeous, for one, and the gameplay that they showed off looked incredibly fun. It looks to take that Black Flag game mechanics and beef it up and put it in this multiplayer world. Now, I'm not entirely sure if they only plan on doing multiplayer with it, but if they do take that Black Flag gameplay and add depth and layers to it in a way that wasn't present in Assassin's Creed, with being able to fight other players and take their loot, causing mutinies, upgrading your own ship, having dynamic weather systems, and the gorgeous graphics that go along with it, I'm on board. Now, like I said, I do hope that we see a single player aspect to this game, as a multiplayer only game does kind of hurt me a little bit on the inside, and the only parts that they did show was multiplayer. But even if it is only multiplayer, you can sign me up. I've been looking for a good pirate game for a long time.
What will we do with the drunken sailor?
I love Monster Hunter. It's just no surprise to anybody that I actually adore Monster Hunter. I'm a relatively new fan, only jumping in with Monster Hunter 3, but since then, I've been loving that series every release it gives me. And it's consumed countless hours of my life. And the one thing I've always asked for with Monster Hunter is, please God, give me a PC version. Please, please, please give me a PC version. Well, we are getting one. Monster Hunter World is going to be coming out on the PS4 and Xbox One first, and then later coming to the PC. But it looks gorgeous, and it has a grappling hook, which, I mean, let's be honest, that's kind of freaking badass. Monster Hunter World looks to bring all the Monster Hunter goodness to more modern consoles, but most importantly, the PC crowd. I don't have to get off my butt and go into my living room to play on a console. I can play it on PC. And as a PC gamer, it's all I've ever wanted. Some of my fondest gaming memories go back to the Xbox 360 with me and my best friend. And one of my favorite games that I got to play on him and one of my first online experiences with the Xbox 360 was the original Crackdown. Being a super-powered soldier rampaging through a city, taking down criminal organizations, while also playing some really fun games with your friend like jumping into traffic and throwing cars around to create the quote-unquote car Olympics, which is what me and my friend did. Don't ask the game. We just made it up, but it was really fun. Brings some of my favorite memories back. Crackdown 2 I had a good time with, but it just wasn't as good, fun, or silly as Crackdown 1 was. Well, Crackdown 3 looks to bring that vibe from Crackdown 1 back in full force. Granted, the gameplay they showed wasn't too much, and they didn't talk too much about the game, but it did seem over the top. I mean, they had Terry Crews presenting the game. The over-the-topness was present from the very beginning. Crackdown is one of those games that is best played with a friend, if I am to recommend it, but Crackdown is still great as a solo game. And it seems to cater both multiplayer and single player here with the Crackdown 3 trailer. Run around a city, stop crime, be super awesome with a super suit, and just be a superhero in a wild, bright, colorful, cel-shaded world. God, yes. Give me Crackdown 3.
Forget dropping bombs. You're dropping buildings.
Nintendo's conference was brief and, if I'm honest, kind of boring. Sure, they announced Metroid Prime 4, but they didn't give a date, they didn't show any screenshots or art, just a title and saying it's in production, which, don't get me wrong, is exciting, but not enough for me to get incredibly hyped about it. However, they did show some gameplay of Mario Odyssey, and I walk away impressed. It looks to be more along the lines of Mario 64 and Mario Sunshine, which is my preferred style of Mario game, and oh my god! Mario's possessing that frog! Oh, now he's an enemy? Oh, he's a bullet bill. That's really... Mario, no, what are you doing? Mario, you can't possess a human man like that! Oh god, what's happening? Oh, this game is so weird! Holy guacamole, Batman... SpiderMan? SpiderMan by Insomniac. Hell yes! This game was announced last year, but this year they showed some gameplay, and yeah, it's highly scripted, but if this is what they're going for as far as mechanics are concerned, sign me up. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero and has been since I was a little kid, and I've been dying for Spider-Man to get the Arkham treatment for a long time. Meaning competent developers with a competent combat system and a really fun open world to explore. And it seems that's what they've got going on here. At the very least, the combat looks on point. My walk away from watching Spider-Man is that they've really got the Spider-Man combat style down. Spider-Man, when he fights, is acrobatic all over the place and using his environment to his advantage. And that seems to be exactly what's going on here. Tons of environmental takedowns, lots of jumping around, slow-mo with a Spidey sense, and saving the enemies instead of killing them is purely Spider-Man. It looks gorgeous, and while I'm a little disappointed it's going to be a PS4 exclusive, that doesn't surprise me coming from Insomniac Games. If they can hold this tone through the whole game and it look this good, this will be the first really good Spider-Man game in many, many years. And holy crap, that's Miles Morales! Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. Holy crap. It's finally happening. It's finally happening. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is finally happening. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look, I'm a new fan. All right. I understand. I only played Beyond Good and Evil for the first time last year, but that game was so good. I loved it. I mean, seriously, go watch the review. I did a review on it on this channel, and I've been wanting Beyond Good and Evil 2 since then. I mean, I knew the game existed and knew it had a core fan base, but I didn't really realize how good that game was. But Beyond Good and Evil 2 is finally announced. again, I mean, yeah, they announced it many years ago, but this time it's actually announced, and it's gonna be a prequel before Jade, which is kind of cool because it seems like they're discussing how these hybrid animals / humans actually exist and what their purpose was. And this world seems bright and colorful, but also depressing and dark and evil with corporations. And oh my god, I can't believe it. Ansel, you're a beautiful man. I'm gonna kiss you, Ansel. Just stay on stage right there, baby. I'm coming, baby. I'm gonna give you a little kiss. Like, yes, Beyond Good and Evil 2! If at least one of the games announced in my list comes out and ends up being good, I will be happy. The one I have the most concern for, though, is SpiderMan. Not because it looks bad, but because I probably personally have too much stake in it. I'm too excited for it. I love Spider-Man more than any superhero, and I have since I was a little kid. So to get a good Spider-Man game again really excites me. I mean, we've had Spider-Man games in the past, but they've been mediocre. Not really terrible, but not fantastic. But I really want a good open world Spider-Man again. So I'm a little excited for it. That and Beyond Good and Evil 2, but Beyond Good and Evil 2 is more about the announcement and less about the gameplay, because there was none, which is something I critiqued in the beginning of this video. Look, I'm allowed to contradict myself every so often. So I hope you guys enjoyed E3, and my question to you is simple. What is your favorite E3 announcement this year? Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I've already got the next 2 Judge Mathases in the works. We're in a nice little groove with Judge Mathas right now, and it feels good. I want to say a special thank you to those who ended up supporting me on Patreon that launched last week. I got way more support than I expected to, and I just sincerely appreciate it. We're about halfway to the first goal, which is a new camera for just a better picture and better color balancing in general. You guys are awesome, and I love ya. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye-bye.